press the red button, James.
Yeah, well done.
Where are we, James?
We are currently heading north on the A1, somewhere north of Stamford. We've just set off back home. Honeypot Lane Industrial Estate, if that means anything to anybody. Doesn't mean a lot to me, to be fair. I don't actually know which side of Grantham we are.
No one does. That's the thing about Grantham.
Well, we're south of it because I've just seen a sign pointing north and it says Grantham. So we're south of Grantham. So yeah, we've had a big ride out.
Yes, we have. To see many, many people.
Yeah. Nigel's first departure from the Dale since.
Yeah, I was all a bit starstruck. Well, first of all, I was uncomfortable because we got below York. I don't like it. Especially when someone said that we were... The only place I'll go to below York, well, on a fairly sort of regular basis, is the NEC.
That's out of necessity. It's not our choice, is it?
Oh, no, that's just trying to keep my fearless leader happy.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we've been...
So, yes, yeah, we've been for a nice, jolly ride out. Fundamentally, this all came about through Merv at Profi. He said...
Tell everybody what you do for Profi to start with.
No, I can't go spoiling it. I am a contributor to Profi. We've been to Tom Lamb's. He was giving a little open demonstration of his Swift Cut CNC plasma cutter, and also what else did we see? A little
Battery powered welder.
Yeah, battery powered ESAB welder, and to top it all off. Before we could get out of there, Froment, or
I was going to say, well, that's the wrong name, isn't it?
No.
What's the real name? I can't remember.
So
Froment have been bought out
Yeah.
by someone else who have changed the name to whatever the company that's bought them out is called. Begins with A. I can't remember what it is.
I know, I've got it written down somewhere.
Right, yeah.
But
even two of us acting as reporters.
talk amongst yourselves, people.
We failed to remember the fundamental things that you're meant to include in an article that you're then writing about that thing.
Shut up! God, some people. Avtron. There you go. Avtron. Froment was easy to remember because it was a nice. I don't know.
That's what they've always been called.
Yeah. But anyway, Avtron seemed to be an American. I had a quick look on the website yesterday, and found out that they'd been taken over.
Yeah.
We couldn't find any of the older, smaller dynamometers that they used to make that we're all used to seeing, like the white ones.
Yeah.
They're all these big twin-axled grey boxes now.
Right.
Which is fair enough, because that's what they make and what they do and what they're up to. But yeah, it's the same people with the same essential product underneath, but just a different name. So yeah, they came along, the dynamometer people, and were showcasing, this newer system that they've come up with. It deviates from the last ones basically because it's the capacity really.
And the way the air went out. Instead of going out sideways, it goes out the top.
Yeah. So instead of cooking people stood next to it, it now cooks birds flying over the top of it. It's rated to something ridiculous like, Christ, what was it?
680 horsepower.
680 horsepower or 500 kilowatts, which is serious going, really. That's a lot of energy. So yeah, we came away before. Tom put 2 tractors on it, but we didn't see his big tractor going on.
So it's 3065.
We saw his vintage Fergie. He popped that on first, and that was. It sounded sweet. It was in really good order. Sounded sweet. I think from factory the flywheel horsepower would have been about 85, something like that, 80, 85. So nobody had particularly massively high hopes, but we were thinking around sort of the low 70s, somewhere in there. Anyway, it did
64 and a bit.
64 point something, yeah. But
fair play to it. It was a tiny tractor.
yeah, it was still sounding sweet, and I was surprised how little smoke was coming out of that
Yeah,
thing.
and it held on well. It was working hard when it dragged it down, and it never bothered.
No, it didn't sound as though it didn't die off and then sound like it was never going to come back or anything.
It was holding its own, to be fair to it.
I was impressed with it. Put it like this way: the moment that I first saw it, I went, "Oh, I quite like that." It's one of those tractors where, if you have, you win the lottery and you end up with this farm, it's one of the tractors. That'd be a nice little run around having the yard. Yeah. A bit of a sweet spot for these little two-wheel drives. But again, still the lad that worked there.
That's unlucky.
What's up?
Someone's Tesla's broken down. Gutted.
You wouldn't have been able to see this, but yes, there was a Tesla broken down, and there was a very optimistic mechanic scratching his head with the bonnet open. Yeah, keep scratching.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, been a ride out, hasn't it?
Yep. Oh yeah, it was good. It was, thanks to Tom for letting us have a peep at everything. Took plenty of pictures and what have you. But the reason behind us going was on the back of me hopefully producing a bit of literature, words, and
content.
I didn't want to use the word content, but it was all I could think of.
Yeah, it was all words.
So yeah, we're gonna do a bit for Profi off the back of it.
Which you already are doing a bit for Profi, and you have been for a while, but as a contributor in the back.
Yeah,
of it,
basically.
Opinion pieces.
This was my first foray into professional wordsmithing, rather than just talking dribble about what I happened to have been doing at that moment in time. So we'll see how we come on with that. There's made plenty of notes, or I did until my pen ran out. Very unprofessional.
Error.
You should have said it. I have done. I've gone with two of your pens.
Oh, right,
I took
enough.
two.
Well done.
I grabbed one, and then I thought, well, if that twat runs out, I'll have another one as well.
First error.
It's up. Don't worry about it. But yes, there's some of the notes that I've made them in Braille. So yeah, they could take a bit of. I'm going to have to look at that and make proper better notes when I get home, or I'm in complete danger of forgetting everything. So we'll make a decent.
Well, it wasn't just for us, was it? There was a lad there from Farmers Weekly.
Oh yeah.
He was there.
Yep.
I didn't see him making. He was making. Yeah, I suppose
he was furiously making notes.
Yeah, he wasn't doing a lot of talking, was he?
No, but then I thought, well, hang on a minute. We're asking all the right questions, and he's writing down all the answers.
I'm a minute back in school.
I thought, hang on a minute. I'm asking all the right questions here and getting the answers that I want to hear the answers to, but I'm asking them that quickly. I'm not writing the answers down. He is.
Damn it!
Hang on, I'm doing this wrong. I can see why he's doing this.
Yeah. This is not his first rodeo, is it?
Exactly. Yeah. Thinking, he spied us coming a mile off in that news.
Suckers!
Yes. He said, no. I'll let them do all the legwork, and I'll just sit here and scribble a few notes. He'll have way more information than I will.
Yeah.
But then again, he is a professional.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh, he's seen me coming, hasn't he?
Yes, but equally he should, because he's drawing a full-time wage out of that job, so if he can't do it, it's a bad job, isn't it?
Exactly. We've just gone there, on the back of, well, have a go.
Fancy a ride out, lads.
Fancy a ride out, have a go, see how you come on. So, yeah, we'll give it a decent stab anyway. But the thing, I don't know. It was nice to see. It was nice to see the dyno. It was nice to see the battery welder as well, because I was still amazed by the amount of power that can be held in those lithium cells. I know there was a lot of them in there, but my God, to
Well,
go welding.
Yeah, well, it was 4 batteries, 4 DeWalt batteries that said 18, and some about split volt 54.
Yeah, the flex volt thing.
Oh,
yeah,
was it?
yeah,
Flex
yeah.
volt. So, like, but the lad that was from ESAB didn't just know what that meant.
I think, from what I believe, the reason behind it is, if you considering the amount of power that's in there, the battery's quite clever in the way that it can connect the cells within it, so it'll put you them either in parallel to give you 12 volts but a load of amps, or it can wire them up in series and give you a higher voltage with less amps. And the beauty of having higher voltage with less amps is your thickness of your wires that you transport it through doesn't have to be as thick. You can get the same amount of power through thinner wires, and I think that's what they've been doing, because they'll probably, if they're 54 volts a piece, you put 4 of those batteries put 4 of those batteries in series, you're at 210 volts, 220 volts, aren't you? 210, is that right?
216.
Well, 260, yeah, somewhere in there. So, what's to stop you? I know that, well, it's not alternating current, that's direct current. But if you think, well, it's not beyond the wit of man to plumb that almost directly into a standard inverter welder and end up welding something.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, I know you'd have to put it through a sine wave.
It was impressive. And the welder was impressive, but fundamentally, it was also expensive.
We don't know the on-farm price. We don't, but all indications were pointing towards it being expensive. Now, if you have need for the beauty of it was portable.
Yeah.
It was still quite heavy because the batteries were heavy. But it was very well made,
and it did a hell of we both had a go welding on it,
Yeah.
and in fairness, it was on top of the job for that.
and the menu on it was massive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You could change so many different little bits and pieces in the menu, but admitted, I don't know, it seemed a little, it wasn't essential. All the options in the menu weren't really essential, or I didn't think so.
But yeah. The plasma table was impressive as well, to be fair.
That was the main reason that we were going. The rest of it was just kind of a bonus. But yeah, the plasma table was very interesting, because Tom himself was just trying to say, look, I've gone down the route of buying one of these tables for on-farm use. I think it would interest a lot of other people. I wouldn't mind just, having a bit of an open morning show, and just, we could showcase the possibilities of getting that style of a machine on farm into the farm workshop. Admittedly, not every farm workshop, but the beauty of it is just the precision, and that machine in particular, the Swift Cut, I would say the main benefit is the backup. The user interface.
So I was quite impressed with. They reckon that a lot of the parts were off-the-shelf parts. So if it broke down, you weren't tied into going back to them for quite a lot of the parts. Inevitably, some of them are specific to them, which, because they've got to make themselves, they are off the shelf. That's why they have to make them. The software was simple to use and easy to use, and then also like you say, that the backup sounded like it was pretty good as well. So it certainly, I'm not desperately trying to get hold of one. I don't want one. I don't. Yeah, it's one of those things. It would be nice to have. But,
you would make use of one if you had one.
Yeah.
But you ultimately have to put a price on these things.
Yeah. And as we discussed on the way down, and we ended up discussing there, you can't really buy a plasma cutter without buying a press brake, because well, you can, but especially for what I do and for what I buy in. So yeah, the Swift cut table was impressive. But what I was saying was needing a plasma cut table at the same time as really needing for me, a press brake, so I could fold steel as well. Otherwise, there's not much point having one without the other. I'm no better off.
No, because you'd still, to get something bent, you're damn near easier just to get it cut out there at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and I dare say that a press brake, a proper really nice, just tell it what to do and everything is absolutely just crisp, that's going to be more than a plasma table, isn't it?
well, yeah, I think it would be, to be fair. Yeah, because in fairness, like, no disrespect to plasma tables, there's heavier engineering involved in a press brake, more weight, more steel.
Yep.
For it to be able to do what it does, yeah.
To be able to, I mean, how many ton would you need to be to bend some of that steel that you get bent?
I don't know, to be honest. Never really looked at it. I could put, the figure on my head is 200 ton, but I don't know if that's right or not. I don't know if I'm just guessing.
Even if it's half that,
Yeah,
that's a lot of pressure.
yeah,
And your bed and everything around what you're trying to bend can't bend.
no. It's got
So it's
straight
going to have to be pretty thick.
Yeah.
A lot of metal involved.
in. Yeah, so, no, it was impressive. It was impressive. It was interesting. Nothing's going to change anytime soon.
No, but the thing that got me was the size of electric hookup. Admittedly, Tom had gone for the biggest plasma generator that he needed, really, and that was quite something. It would give, what was it, for a straight plug cut, it was, oh god, it was above 25 mil, was it? I think for a straight down cut, it was above so much, but with a little bit of tinkering, so you'd bypass having to drill a hole straight through, because that's what takes the power, isn't it? You need the power to break through to the bottom edge, so you can then blast more material out through the bottom. They said with a bit of tinkering, you can start the cut off the piece, and they said they've got people getting severance in up to 50 mil, which is huge.
Yeah, that's
2-inch thick steel.
That's impressive.
Which is, it's absolutely serious. But again, it's the same thing as you sending out for steel to be cut to your design through laser or plasma or whatever. And the beauty of these tables is that you're getting stuff cut to precision.
Repeatability as well.
You're not having to bore holes through, because we can waste hours when we're fabricating something up having to just knock holes in something.
It's one of the things I absolutely hate doing, because you know it's just costing you time and money. You're standing there and drilling holes. If we have to drill a hole, I've cocked up. Sometimes you have to, which I accept.
Yeah.
But equally, if I could get away from it, I would. Just because I think it's an epic waste of time when there's machines out there that'll do it for you.
In a fraction of the time, because they're only messing about with that thin fraction of, well, what would it be, a mil, something like that. They're only destroying that 1 mil of material round the perimeter of the hole
to cut the hole out.
Yeah.
Whereas we're having to take it all out.
Whereas we're messing about with, you mess around with a normal twist drill, you are having to cut and destroy every last piece of steel that is within that plug.
Yeah.
Now, arbor drill bits on like a mag drill, they're a lot better. You're not having to drill through everything with them, because they're still just boring out a plug. But still, they're not everything, are they?
No. No, they're all right. But yeah, there's still time. Still have to stand there.
And they're not good to sharpen in the home workshop environment.
No, we have to take them. We have to take them to Rip Engineering, and they send them away to get them sharpened. And yeah, you'd argue it's not really worth it, but equally,
You could touch each one yourself,
Ugh.
just touch them up, but I can guarantee that they wouldn't all be the same height, so you'd end up with only like a tooth or two doing all of the cutting.
yeah,
And sod's laws is that they're not on opposite sides of the cutter, so your forces aren't balanced. So as soon as you bring that puppy down into contact with the steel, chong, off it goes.
You go for a ride.
Yeah, magnet or no magnet, that's not staying put.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even try to sharpen one of them bits. There's so many different angles,
Yeah.
and I'm all right at sharpening normal twist drill bits,
Oh, but they're still a pain.
but yeah, I wouldn't say I'm great at it. And that's only two sort of angles to mess with. So yeah. Anyway, in other news, what else are we talking about?
I don't know. There's nothing else happening, Jim. My mind is mush. I've gone into this morning. I thought, I'll
Fresh as a daisy.
I'll be on top of my game. I'll have all the right questions, won't I? No.
You've used all your clever.
Well, no, it's not. I haven't used all my clever. My clever is just hibernating because I haven't been sleeping particularly well because we've been lambing. And don't get me wrong, I haven't a huge number of sheep. This is nothing like it used to be when we had a lot more. This is just child's play in comparison. But still, because we're on site, I still feel duty bound that probably at some point in the night, I'd better go and have a look in the shed, make sure there's not a mix-up, or make sure there's not something stuck lambing, and yeah, I've solved a couple of problems in the middle of the night, but on the whole, has it been worth it? Probably not. No. But you feel a duty of care towards these things.
Yeah.
As ungrateful as they are, you still feel a duty of care. So, but thankfully, one of the sheep. It's not that I really like this sheep or think a lot about it. It's the fact that I spent, I think, 350 quid on it. So,
Right.
it then owes me. You know what I mean? It's not that I feel a lot of affection towards it and want to look after it. It's more a case of it's more protection of investment
Right.
that I was keeping an eye on it. Anyway, it lambed yesterday, thankfully, with two nice gimmer lambs and getting on well. So that's brilliant. That's at least one chalked off the list.
Ideal.
But yeah, everything's just taking its sweet time. Normally, after 2 weeks, we're through the thick of it. It's just mopping up. Whereas we come into the end of the 4th week, and we've still got 25 left. Which again, it's only 25. It's just, oh God, kick them into a pasture and let them get on with it. Well, I've waited this long,
Yeah.
and the problem is, if there is a problem, you've still got to go round them 2, 3, 4 times a day.
Yeah.
And if there is a problem, it's getting hold of them. If they're in a shed, yoink.
Yeah.
But even then, even if there isn't a problem, I'm still getting hold of the lambs when they're at a young age because they need tailing and marking and tagging and the rest of it. So, and it's quite surprising if you miss a day and then go out and these lambs have a day's head start. They are fairly nimble. They're just like 2 days old, like gone. Oh no.
One thing we were talking about on the way down was the fact that this year's been a lot easier. One reason being that the weather's been a lot better. And the trouble is, you can't really have a good year lambing with bad weather, because regardless of what the sheep do, the weather is always going to create problems with the sheep. If the sheep were fit and everything, you're always going to have problems with the sheep because of the bad weather.
Yes.
One way or
yeah.
another.
Oh God, yeah. Especially if you're lambing outside and everywhere's just a cold, wet quagmire.
Yeah.
Like all the wall backs and hedge backs will be trampled and all shit up, and there are ways you can can sort these problems out. I've seen people rolling out bales of straw behind walls and stuff. And you can help and add shelter, but it's better if you don't have to.
Yeah, that comes at a cost.
All of it comes at a cost. Yeah.
It's better if the weather just isn't good, and then you're more likely to have a good lambing. So yeah.
But anyway, that's enough. We're all tired. Even I'm tired of hearing about lambing. I'm so over it. Just, there's new. Oh, look, baby lamb. Yeah.
Whatever.
Indeed.
Yeah. So we've been on with building a silo crab in the workshop. Well, I've just been playing lambing.
Yeah, you've been doing all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'll come back and it'll be
Gone
bolting
by
calf
the time
carts together or something stupid. Yay.
So yeah, still quite a bit to do, but we're getting there. It doesn't help when I have a day off. But
So poor Phil, you've been working him like a dog then.
yeah, in fairness, he went down to Lincolnshire yesterday to set off the agricultural tank monitoring system underground. So there's a system we've put in where it's pumping digestate from an AD plant underground through an existing irrigation pipeline to 3 tanks. Why won't let me do that? Yeah, so
Have you just hung up on someone, James?
yeah,
Who have you hung up on, James?
Lindsay. Just till we get finished and we'll ring her back.
Hey
But it wouldn't let
viewers.
me ring-
Hey
it
viewers.
wouldn't let me ring her. Hang up on her.
You ever seen a dead man before, you viewers? Yeah,
I
that's
better
it.
ring her back now.
Ooh, risky. I like this. I might have to turn this off.
Hello.
Oh, you alright?
And take 4.
Yeah, we're back after this second interruption of a phone call from Lindsay.
Yeah, after I had to turn it off. I stopped recording because it was disgusting. The amount of grovelling that this man just did was honestly, it was. He's gone down in my estimations now.
Oh well, never mind, eh?
Yes,
Get
dear.
over
Sorry, dear. Won't happen again, dear. I didn't hang up on you. It wouldn't let me answer, dear. Nonsense. She saw right through you.
Well, anyway. So yeah, we're heading back home.
Yeah, a lot slower than we were. We were racing back home, but now he's in trouble. We're barely doing 50.
Really? Well, we were meant to be in our car until I went to get the tyres balanced and found one of the tyres is less than ideal. So then it was, alright, yeah, we're not going anywhere in that.
Yeah, I think you're overreacting to that.
Well, when the man who fixes my tyres says I wouldn't put that back on, bearing in mind he's good and does repair tyres that a lot of people, for whatever reason, would throw out just because they want to make an extra £1, and it does your head in because you know it's fixable but just don't want to do it. When he does fix stuff like that, and then he says, yeah, I wouldn't drive round on that.
He's the sort of person that might smack a cat turd in the sidewall then.
Not quite, but nearly.
Alright, fair enough.
That's when you do pay attention and say, righto, yes, I will go and we'll put the spare on, and I'll get some new tyres and round it up.
So
yeah.
and the spare, James?
Oh yeah, it's a space saver. Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's true. So
Yeah.
it's still mobile.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we ended up coming in the pickup instead, which wasn't the plan, but didn't have any choice.
Here we are.
So yeah. Yeah, so there we go. That's what we've been on with. Back home for 6:30. Have you got in?
Yeah.
Let's
yeah,
meet Tom Lamb, have a chat with him.
yeah, interesting fella. He's got
Yeah.
a lot of stuff going on in that yard, hasn't he? I suppose.
Yeah, it's what fascinates me about people like him is he's involved in a lot of different things. He's done a lot of different things, and you're like, how do you end up involved in this? But yeah, Just seems to attract that sort of stuff.
Well, yeah, just, I think it's the personality, jovial sort of personality, and having the wherewithal to do these things.
Yeah.
And also the facilities. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice yard we were stood in.
Well, yeah, he did say, to be fair to him, he's just recently concreted it, and he's made a hell of a difference, and he's a lot happier with it now than he.
Yeah.
Because when it was wet, it was awful. So yeah, sounds like he's obviously improved, and also he's seems to be doing a lot to improve the spot, which is good. And we didn't get on to talking much about farming, to be fair with him, did we?
No. To be honest with you, there seemed to be a regular throughput of new sort of people showing up that we didn't really get a chance to talk much.
Yeah.
And then he started his camera rolling.
Oh, I see.
So everyone was sort of stood back out of the way and keeping quiet, which is fair enough because it's his place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just a nice sort of all-round fella, really.
Right.
Very
Yeah.
welcoming. Really down to earth. There's no sort of airs and graces about him or anything. It was just get on.
Yeah. So yeah. And with that, we will get on
Yeah, we're going to call it a draw now because
back up home.
James and I have got to talk out how he's going to talk his way out of this one. We're way past flowers. This isn't flowers. No, this isn't flowers. This is something else.
Whatever it is, it's going to be hypothetical because it isn't happening. Whatever you think is going to happen.
I heard that conversation. I know. Shocking.
Righto.
But no, you put a brave face on it, James. That's what I like to see. That's what I should be pointing you up a bit. Yeah, that wasn't nothing. Yeah.
Right, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a question for camera. When are you next coming back to the workshop?
I don't think I'm needed. By the sounds of it, Phil's got the handling the welder and job's carrot.
Well, he's getting better at welding, and I just think a bit of time spent with you, with your
James, as a professional journalist, I maybe don't have time for this welding lark.
whatever.
That's what everybody told me I was today, and they can't be wrong. Oh, so how long have you been a journalist?
They can't when they read what you write.
Yeah, the facade was done with. I didn't even have it in me to just say, oh, just blag it. No. You've picked up the wrong end of the stick. Sorry, you've even picked up the wrong stick. No. So what are you doing? Good question.
I don't know. Just someone rang up and said, do you fancy a ride out?
Oh, yeah, go on then. We'll have a ride out.
Anything to get away from the bloody sheep.
And then the Farmers Weekly dude saw us two come in. All right, yeah, go on. Ask away, boys, ask away. Oh, I should have had a dictaphone on me or something, but never mind. Never mind, we'll just style it out. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I will have to write something down this evening, or I will forget everything that is in my tiny little mind.
Right, anyway.
So watch this space. Right, yes,
Right.
Are you saying a nice goodbye,
Yes.
James?
Catch you in a bit. Thanks for
You
watching.
may never see him again, people. This may be the last one, so, make the posterity, do you want to, is there anything you want to bequeath? I don't want your welder.
Do you not? Mike wants it.
Who?
My brother.
Oh, there you go.
But
then.
he'd rather have my welder over his. I thought, well...
There you are, Mike, you've got a welder.
I want to go and try mine up at Ivy's.
Put some proper juice into it.
Yeah. I want to try it alongside his chassis
Yeah?
and see if there's a notable difference. If it's more consistent than it is in the workshop at our house, or just have a bit of a play testing them out, really.
I honestly think flat out it should have more go than it does.
Yeah. it's good and it does some cracking welds, but sometimes, we said it this morning,
It can be a dick.
yeah, it can just have a bit of a fit and just make hard work of it, and then other days it's just a pleasure to use.
Oh, absolutely.
And I can't really work out why.
Yeah, you're half-arsing it and you're thinking, oh my god! I just half-arsed that whole weld and it looked beautiful.
It's like playing golf. The more effort you put in, the worse
Yeah.
you are.
That's it. Then you think, there's some days when you're just really concentrating and nothing's happening. You think, oh god, what's happened? It's the same thickness, but on the same settings. Well, apart from that one day when you put 1.2 mil in it and didn't tell me. Wow, this is feisty. Yeah. Never mind.
Right.
Right, folks.
Thank you very much.
Say goodbye to James.
Bye bye.
Say bye to everybody,
See
James.
you next time.
No, we won't.